I have mentioned that I'm on vacation, so I'm not doing Stampin' Up until February. So this time that I have like on vacation, I'm using to like get into bookbinding and making little journals. So I've already posted a couple of videos where I made gifts that are little books or something of that nature. So being that, I was kind of like free to use anything in my craft room, I started to play around with watercolor paper and glimmer mist, but I also got to playing around with some of the mask. So there's screens that Tattered Angels has that goes with their mist. And these screens, you just kind of put them over the paper and then you mist, and you get the effect of a negative around the color and the glimmer. And then I use stamps to like accent those. So then I realized that I don't know whether Tim Holtz and Tattered Angels are like friendly or partners or competitors, but the Tim Holtz mask work very similar to how the screens work. You put them down and then you can ink over them or you can mist over them. You can do a whole lot of different things. So this combination of mask and templates, mask and screens and glimmer mist and distressed inks and stamps just got me, it kind of freed me to like just explore, and I had such a good time that I did a bunch of stuff. So I did a journal, and I also did a small box. I altered a box, but I want to show you a journal that I made today in just a couple of hours using all these different techniques that I had learned playing around with those products. So this isn't quite finished, and the reason I say it's not quite finished is because I still haven't finished figuring out how it's going to close. But I used a technique called, I think it's Coptic binding, and for Christmas I got a bunch of books on making books, because that's kind of what I wanted to focus on during my vacation. So I learned how to do this stitching here. And wow, this is not only easy, but it really is beautiful. I really wish you could see. It looks like a little braid. And in this case, the binding is actually, it's held together by two boards. And these boards are also Tattered Angels. They're tiles that have been distressed and glimmer misted in order to make the book cover. The other books that I made, like I had made one of the Japanese stab binding books. So in that case, you really can't see, I guess, the signatures the way you can with this method. And I really like that method. I had also done, a full, this is a book cover kind of a binding, that you can't see the signatures really at all. So each method is very different, but allows for quite a bit of creativity no matter which one you do. And I'm gonna try actually a lot of these different methods in the month of January, so I'm excited about this. So just to let you know what I did and the order that I did it with this journal, I didn't explain the purpose. So this journal is for writing, so it's for journaling. It's for journaling thoughts, and this is probably going to go to a person that I know that just recently had their engagement canceled. So that's a really hard thing to live when you plan to get married and then you don't. So I was going to give her this so that she could kind of journal her thoughts and her healing process. And so it's intended to be easy to write in, but yet it's not blank completely. So let me show you what I mean. When you open, these pages often have grid stamps or line stamps on them. But this is watercolor paper, so it's very friendly for writing like with a gel pen. So she can write all over this paper. So just because there may be a design in the paper doesn't mean she can't write. So I'm encouraging her to write everywhere in the book. And you'll see that each page has some kind of de-stressing or coloring in it using the techniques that I was playing with. But also, I tried to incorporate a positive quote on every other page at least, so that no matter where she goes in the book, she finds something positive as a reinforcement to maybe help her to think positively during this difficult time. So the stamps may say, like this one is the little things that matter. This one said dreams are wishes your heart makes. This one says giggle. This one says you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. And you can see that in every case there's some weathering effect on the paper to give it an aged look, like an old journal that you can just scribble in your thoughts. And that's what I'm hoping she'll do, just scribble her thoughts in it. Now some pages are probably too dark for writing, so I'm going to suggest that those pages be used for maybe photographs or something that she wants to remember. And I'll explain to you how I'm going to give her a little bit of guidance on this journal as she uses it. So each page is very interesting. Again, there are positive reinforcement stamps all over the place, nice images. So this should be something to help her process, and basically to help her feel better, help her believe in herself after such a difficult experience. So what will be in the very front of this little journal will be an envelope will be right here, and in the envelope will be my letter that goes with the journal, and the letter will have questions that will help her know what to write in the journal. And the questions are going to be scrapbook type questions, and all they are is they're leading questions to help you know what to write about. And so she'll have that letter, and it'll have key questions to help her fill this journal in with very positive thoughts, things focused on herself and her current feelings. So that's my journal that I'm sharing with you today. Again, I'm not sharing the closure with you because I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do the closure. But again, the order that I did this in, I don't know if I got to explain it, but I just cut out the watercolor paper, and then I used decorative scissors to kind of make it look ripped on the edges. And then I distressed everything. So everything is distressed. And one of my favorite inks is the tea dye distressed ink. So I used Vintage Photo, and I used tea dye, which is really my favorite, a lot, and a little bit of antique linen. So these Ranger Tim Holtz Distress inks. So everything is highly distressed. And after all the distressing was done, both on the covers and on the papers, at that point is when I added the stamps. And there's only one sticker, that's that one, but the rest is just stamps. And I'm sticking with a beige brown color palette. There are a few places where you might find stickles just to add a little bit of bling, like this butterfly is got rock candy on it. But you can still write all around this butterfly. So all of this paper is meant to be used for journaling, for processing the thoughts and feelings of the heart. And I added this little Tim Holtz thing, which I kind of stained with some metallic StazOn ink, just to give it an older look. And I may or may not add some decoration here. I thought about adding flowers, and I actually handmade some flowers, but I'm afraid that this won't be easy to carry if there's too much on it. I want this to be something you could pop in your purse and bring with you. And I'm going to suggest you use black gel pen, which will work really well over all of these images and the distressed inks. So I hope you enjoyed that. Happy New Year. Friday is my birthday, so I'm really excited that I'm coming up on a birthday, and so enjoying this kind of new creative task is really like a birthday present from me to me.